Why are you running for office?
You know what? Kentwood, I love Kentwood. I love the citizens of Kentwood. We have a unique, diverse community. I mean, Kentwood is in a great position. You know, when you read about Detroit, and I love Detroit, I go there, but Kentwood is my home. I've been all over the world. I've been a member of the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce. I went with some of the top West Michigan CEOs to China for 10 days. We visited 7 cities, and I learned how they run things, and I talked to the CEOs and their viewpoints. And the businesses in Kentwood support Kentwood. I mean, the businesses support Kentwood. And I think I can be a factor in that. I think that we need to diversify the Kentwood police. I think that right now, with this city being diverse, we need minorities. I'm not saying just hire this particular minority. He's got to be qualified, or she's got to be qualified, but we need diversity because we're facing a small crime wave, if you notice. We're in the news a lot lately. We need to do something different. I got some crime prevention programs that I want to get started, and I got some ways to think that we need to reach out and put some of the police that's on the beat instead of in brand new motorcycles. Let them walk the beat once a month.
You may have already addressed this to some degree, but what do you see as the biggest challenge facing the community?
The biggest challenge is I think that every Kentwood police and firemen ought to live in the city of Kentwood. They ought to be stakeholders. They are the biggest departments. They're getting the big checks. The citizens of Kentwood is paying their salaries. We need to see them.
And again, you've addressed part of this next question, but in fairness, I want to ask you, how do you want to address that challenge? How do you want to get everybody to live in Kentwood?
Well, you know what? I know that some of the police and firemen probably live outside the city, and it takes a while to sell a house. Well, I want to give them, 2 years to get it together. But we need them there, because once they are stakeholders, I believe that we can curtail some of the crime. We have a lot of young people with nothing to do. See, I think a mayor's job should be in about, number 1, safety for the citizens, number 2, jobs, cultivating more jobs.
You know that there's been a lot of talk about consolidating that expensive department, as you point out, the most expensive service the community offers, public safety. What do you think of consultants' reports on consolidation? Should your community move forward with talks on consolidation?
You know what? Absolutely. I went to the meeting in Wyoming, and I was listening. It's got some holes, but we still need to listen. I don't think you should shut something down right in the middle of it. We had some funds that pay for this thing, so we can't shut it down in the middle of it. That would be not responsible. We're good stewards of Kentwood money, so we need to listen to all of it, and then at the end, make an informed decision.
You got an open microphone now. What else would you like the voting public to know about you or your candidacy?
You know what? I've been working for the Department of Corrections for over 26 years. I've been a chief union steward for over 20 years. UAW and ASME, one of the biggest unions in West Michigan. The people of Kentwood need to know that I'm concerned about them. I'm finna retire from the department. This state has done me so much. It's been a blessing to me. And I want to be a blessing to others. I want to be a civil servant. The fact is that I want to work for all of Kentwood and not part of Kentwood. See, I want to talk about that $300,000 that came up missing with that city worker at the Parks Department. I believe that they didn't do a full investigation of it. One person making 40 grand a year steals $300,000, and they say this is a rogue person. I believe it's more people involved. And how do you not miss $300,000? The average person in Kentwood don't make over $30,000. $300,000, the average bank robber don't get over $2,500. There's a problem. They said that they put safeguards in place. Well, I want to know what's happening to the money. Ms. Brinks says that the employee was bonded. But what she doesn't say is the employee was bonded for $150,000. So she leads people to a point that she thinks that the money is all totally covered. But she's a lawyer, so you got to ask the second question when you deal with her. And I'm not saying that she's not an honest person. What I'm saying is that if you listen to her taped interviews in that debate, which I couldn't make because I was sick, she says it as if, they got the total money back. They didn't. $150,000 for a city of 49,707 people, that's a lot of money. I want to know if she was in it by herself. And who is her boss? And why is he still working? How do you steal $300,000 over 10 years and nobody knows? These are the tough questions that they won't answer. All the people in the city leaders, especially the city commissioners, we need to ask these tough questions and we need to have answers for them. And the police department, they're well trained. I have another problem. They don't have a forensic lab. That's why it took so long for those dear beloved seniors that got slaughtered. My mother's 80 years old. I feel for those seniors. They got slaughtered not too far away from my house. I want to know, why did it take so long for those reports to come back? Is it because we don't have a forensic lab? Is it too expensive? These are the things we need to ask for, and maybe that merger does play a factor in that situation. We need to have a serious, frank conversation, because our city of Grand Rapids, Kentwood, Wyoming, lovely cities to live in. I can walk at night and I feel safe, and I love the people of Kentwood. I live in the Princeton's Estates. I mean, these people are great people. I love them. And my union brothers and sisters, I'm gonna stand by you, because there's gonna be some tough decisions coming up. Money is tight, and the state will draw back some, and we're gonna have to make some decisions. And not everybody's gonna like them. I'm willing to make that call. Some of the leaders right now, they're not willing to make that call. They're lying to the state workers. They think that they're not gonna get laid off. Layoffs are coming. It's just a matter of time.
Excellent.